This is your video on properties of exponents. You should have prepped your foldable in class, so we'll go ahead and get started. This is the front of your foldable. It's divided into 3 sections. You probably cut them. We're going to start off with the first section. Go ahead and press pause so that way you can fill this out. Okay, so you have power of a power, and I have an example there. We're going to go into more detail whenever we open up the foldable. So on the second section, I want you to label it power of a product with the example. Go ahead and hit pause. On your third piece on the bottom, I want you to label it power of a quotient and then write the example. Press pause. Okay, so these are the 3 properties of exponents that we're going to go into. Open up your foldable and we'll start on the upper left hand side. Go ahead and hit pause and copy this down and then we'll go into it. Okay, so you should have written, if you are raising a power to a power, simplify by multiplying the exponents. Solve if asked. So just make sure you remember the examples that are on the front of your booklet. On the right hand side, we're going to go into the examples. So 7 to the 5th to the 3rd is written on the front of your foldable. This is what power to a power looks like when you have 2 exponents. We're going to multiply our exponents, 5 times 3, and then we'll get 15. So 7 to the 5th raised to the 3rd is equal to 7 to the 15th. The other example has a negative. That's fine. You're still going to multiply the exponents. 10 times negative 6 is negative 60. So you should get 12 to the negative 60 when you have that power to the power. On the left-hand side, I want you to go ahead and fill in that information, and then on the right-hand side, that one example. Hit pause. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is check to see if the bases are the same. I circled the bases on the right-hand side so you can see 5 and 5, they are the same. If they're not, you cannot combine the exponents. So here, the bases are the same, so we're going to be able to combine the exponents by adding. This is what it looks like broken down. 5 to the 4th, 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, and 5 to the 3rd, 5 times 5 times 5. Here is one where the bases are different. We cannot combine these, so we could not do 4 plus 3 on this because the bases are different. So we'll take our 5 to the 4th times our 5 to the 3rd, and we'll add the exponents, 4 plus 3, and we end up with 5 to the 7th, which equals 78,125. On the bottom left-hand side, go ahead and hit pause and fill in that information. So the first thing we're going to do is check to see if the bases are the same. Yes, in here they are the same. Remember, a quotient means division. So here I've written it with a division bar instead of a division sign. Remember that you cannot combine the exponents if the bases are different. The bases are different here, so you cannot combine the exponents. So we'll go ahead and combine on the first one. We'll take our exponents 8 and 5 and subtract them. 8 minus 5 is 3, which equals 1,000. So you'll be looking at the front whenever you're going through this. You have power of a power, power of a product, and power of a quotient. And then these are your individual rules with explanations. So hopefully this will help you. Okay, so now I want you to take a short lesson quiz. So if you'll pause the video during this time and write down all of the questions and then answer them, and whenever you press play, we'll go back over them. Remember, don't be afraid to make mistakes. This is about trying and then correcting your mistakes. So go ahead and hit pause and try the lesson quiz. On the first one, you should have gotten into the 7th. This is power of a product, and on you add the exponents. This is also power of a product. This 8 doesn't have anything over here, which means we only have 1 8. So you could say there is a 1 up there as the exponent, and 1 plus 8 is 9. Here, this is power of a quotient. On power of a quotient, remember you subtract. So we did 9 minus 5, and we got 10 to the 4th. Power of a quotient again, and 9 minus 7 is 2, so we get t to the 2nd. You don't need a number there. You can use variables. Here is also power of a product. Thankfully, all the bases are the same, so we can add all of the exponents, and we get 3 to the 10th. This is power of a power. On power of a power, remember we multiply the exponents. So here we get m to the 38th power. Again, power to a power, we multiply negative 8 times 9, and we get negative 72. Power of a power again, 10 raised to the 4th raised to the power of 0. Remember that an exponent indicates how many times the number is being used as a factor. And right now, this is saying that 10 is not being used as a factor. Well, what number would that leave? It leaves 1. When you multiply by 1, you won't change the answer. So this you could write as 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 1, and then the 0 as the exponent indicates there's no 10s, so that leaves 1. Anything raised to the power of 0 is 1, so remember that.